everybody, it's Krissy here, giving you my yoga from home. It's a little bit noisy outside. Yesterday I was able to do my video outside, and I've noticed they're doing some house renovations perhaps on the house next door, and there's drills and things going, so I thought I'd bring it inside for you today, and you may find there's some cats that walk across the mat. So let's start in a standing position today, please. So if you would come to the front of your mat and bring your feet into hip distance. Now if you're not sure what hip distance is, here's a really, really good indication. If you make two fists with your hands, bend your knees, yeah, so we're not taking a forward fold too early, and take your hands between the balls of your feet. And that should be approximately hip distance, and that's where we want to stay when we're moving along our mat today. So I'm going to take us through a few little warrior sequences today, so we'll see how we go. So come to the front of your mat, close down your eyes, and just take a moment or two to really settle into your space. So what we want to do here is let the soles of our feet sink down into the mat, and know that below the mat is the floor and below the floor is the earth. So we're grounding down through our feet, letting ourselves really fully arrive in this space to practice yoga. That would be my cat having a little sneeze, very cute. All right, so just close down your eyes and start to just feel into your body. You know, notice how your body's feeling today. And can we just take a moment to roll the shoulders up, back and down, and soften a little through the chest and soften into your belly, and then become aware of your breath. A really beautiful way to connect fully with yourself here is to just observe how you are breathing. The gentle drawing in of the breath through the nostrils. And notice whether you lift your shoulders up a little here, or are you able to keep that breath in the lungs and then instead create this expansion through the front, the back, and the sides of the body. So that we're feeling, rather than a lifting up, we're feeling this deep bringing in of the breath and expanding through the torso. And then on the exhale, breath can leave the top of the lungs, the bottom of the lungs, and we can feel this nice softness start to enter into the front or the top of the torso. So let yourself just here connect and observe your breath. Notice the gentle drawing in of the breath through the nostrils and out. And just take your time here. Just taking some time, we really just want to settle into our space. And start now to just feel into that physical body. Notice how you're feeling. We're standing up, so free range to move. Let your head gently move from side to side, or up and down, and give those shoulders a roll up, back and down. And maybe you actually move quite a lot here. You can flow, you can bend into the leg, you can take a little bit of a dancing movement to see how your body's feeling. Where are the tense spots? Perhaps you have an injury, or you're halfway through healing an injury. So we want to wrap some awareness around anything that arises for you here, knowing that nothing we ever do, nothing is compulsory in any yoga practice, and it's your practice, yeah? So if something doesn't feel quite right for you, then you don't have to do it. You can ease back and come back and sit in your child's pose. But equally, if you need a slightly deeper stretch, then go on into that pose and stretch a little bit more. So it's just a matter of inquiring and having a conversation with your body, seeing how it's feeling, whether it needs a little bit of extra awareness, whether it needs a little bit of push, whether it needs some softness. What does it need? And honor that as we move through our practice today. And can we now come back to our breath, and can we deepen that breath a little more? So can we, with our next inhalation, draw the breath in through the nostrils, take it down the back of the throat, all the way in, or as close as we can get to the belly. And let that belly here expand, the front, the back, the sides. And then let that breath continue to rise up into your lungs, to your chest, so that we can feel the collarbones lift at the peak of the inhale and the ribcage expand, and then on the breath out, let that breath leave the top of the lungs, the bottom of the lungs. The diaphragm muscle can shift back up, blah, blah, blah. And that navel can draw softly in towards the spine as lastly that breath leaves the belly. So let yourself take what we call deep belly breaths, yogic breaths, diaphragmatic breaths. Let them come. Don't force it, just slow it down and deepen it as much as you can so we can get it at least to land as close to the belly as possible. Soften that belly. Let it open up a little. Let it kind of become soft so it can fill with that breath. And then we can slowly let that breath rise all the way up into the chest. Feel that little rise through the collarbones. And then exhale. Now comes the softness. Breath leaves the top of the lungs, the bottom of the lungs. Diaphragm muscle shifts up, and as that breath leaves the belly, now the navel draws softly in towards your spine. Beautiful. So let's come to the front of our mat. We'll all take a breath together. Lift the arms towards the ceiling to meet in prayer, and exhale. Bring the hands to your heart. And let's go again. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to take a forward fold with this next inhalation. So inhale, bring the hands to meet in prayer. And as you exhale, bend your knees on this first one, tipping from your hips and letting your hands come down onto your mat. Now I'd advise that you bend your knees a little here. Feel into the backs of the legs here, the hamstrings, the backs of the calves. And then just take a moment here to kind of pedal, shift the weight from one leg to the other. Bend into the leg that you're shifting the weight from, and straighten into the leg that you're shifting the weight to, and start to warm into the backs of your legs a little here. And then let's come to stillness, and as we inhale, slide the hands halfway up your shins, and on the exhale, flatten the back somewhat here so the crown of the head reaches to the front of the room, and we send the sit bones to the back, and we just hold this Ardha Uttanasana. Opening up through the backs of the legs a little and even into the glutes. Now take a breath in. And on the breath out, let's release the hands to the floor. And can we step the right leg to the back of the mat? So we take a nice big long runner's lunge. And then drop down through that back knee. And inhale to lift the arms. And exhale, bring the hands behind and interlace your fingers here. Hands towards the floor, a little lift up and away from the buttocks. Shoulders come back here, broaden through the collarbones. And that gaze to the ceiling with an inhale. And then on the exhale, release the hands to frame the front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee. Use your next inhalation to step to the front of the mat. Exhale the chest down onto thighs and take a nice slow spinal roll here with your next inhale. Let the hands come to meet in prayer. And exhale, bring the hands to your heart. Now on this next inhalation, bring the hands towards the ceiling. Let the fingers touch. And exhale, let that right hand slide down to the right side of the knee. And then can we inhale, come back through center, and exhale, left hand slides. Let's go again. Inhale. So getting some nice lateral movement through the spine, getting it nice and warm. Inhale through center. Exhale down to the left side. And then come back through center with your inhale. And on the exhale, let's take that forward fold again, tipping from the hips, bending your knees as much as you need to. Inhale now, find your halfway lift. Slide the hands halfway up the shins. Exhale to a nice flat back. Let's hold that Ardha Uttanasana again for a nice deep breath. Inhale here, and as you exhale, let the hands come back onto the mat, and we'll step our right leg to the back of the mat. Nice big long runner's lunge. Drop down through left leg. Drop down through the left leg. And let's lift our hands towards the ceiling with an inhale, and exhale. Bring those hands behind. Interlace the fingers, draw the hands towards the floor, lift a little up and away from the buttocks. Let the shoulders come back, broaden through the collarbones, send that gaze to the ceiling with an inhale. And as you exhale, bring the hands back to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee with your next inhalation, step to the front of the mat. And exhale the chest onto the thighs, and we'll take that nice slow spinal roll as we inhale, let bone stack on bone, and hands can meet in prayer here towards the ceiling. And exhale this time, let's bring the hands to the navel. Interlace the fingers here, and on that breath in, draw the hands towards the face, lift the elbows nice and high, and as you exhale, sink down into your chair, Utkatasana. Use an inhale to lift the arms towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring the hands behind, fingers interlace here. Draw the hands towards the floor, lift up and away from the buttocks with that inhale. Soften through the knees, and as you exhale, forward fold. Use your next inhale to lift a little through the chest. Exhale, bring your hands back onto the mat and step your right leg to the back of the mat. Nice big long runner's lunge, drop down through the back knee. Let's take a little flow here. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down. Let's slide the hips back, draw the toes back towards the shin. Coming forward here. Use your next inhale to take the left arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring the hand down. Let's put all that together with the breath. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Slide those hips back to Ardha Hanuman. Toes draw back towards the shin. Use your next inhale to come forward and take that left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring that hand back down. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down, framing the front foot. Sliding your hips back here, drawing the toes back towards the shin. Coming forward with your next inhalation and taking that left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it down to frame the front foot. And we'll tuck our toes, lift that back knee, and with our next inhalation, step that foot to the front of the mat. Exhale, chest onto thighs, and then take a nice slow spinal roll. Letting bone stack on bone and hands meet in prayer. And exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. Let's take some more movement through the spine here, side to side movement. So can we inhale, bring the hands towards the ceiling. Fingers touch, and exhale, the right hand slides down, left arm reaches. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, left hand slide. Let's go again. Inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. So inhale, come back through center. Exhale, take that nice gentle forward fold, bending your knees as much as you need to, down onto the mat. Inhale to your halfway lift, your flat back now. Exhale, forward fold, and left leg this time steps to the back of the mat. Nice big long runner's lunge, drop down through the back knee. Inhale, lift the arms. Let's exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Start to slide your hips back, opening up through the hamstring. Inhale to come forward and take that right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release the arm. Inhale, nice low lunge. Exhale, the hands come down. Hips slide back, toes draw back towards the shin. Come forward with that inhale. Lift the right arm towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring that hand back down. Inhale, nice low lunge. Exhale, bring the hands down. Sliding the hips back, opening into that hamstring. Come forward with an inhale. Left hand stays on the mat. Inhale, right arm lifts towards the ceiling. Exhale, release that hand. And this time, can we take that right knee behind us so we find our tabletop? Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and come into a few rounds of cat and cow here. Let's inhale. Let the belly drop, the chest comes forward, gaze forward or eye gaze to the ceiling, and exhale, round through your spine, chin to chest, navel to spine. Let's go again. Inhale, belly drops, chest comes forward. Exhale to curl. And again, inhale. And exhale. So now for that nice neutral spine, let's inhale, take that right arm up towards the ceiling, and on the exhale, slide it underneath the left, bringing the right side of your face down onto the mat. Now your left hand can stay where it is, but you might inhale and take it up towards the ceiling. And from here, you could also bend at the elbow, wrap it around the lower back and reach for the top of your right thigh, and draw that shoulder gently back towards you. And take the bind, and then can you drop down into a nice deep belly breath? Are you still able to send that breath all the way down into your belly? One more breath. And then let's use that next breath to take that arm back underneath the shoulder. Use your inhale to press the floor away, and your exhale to bring your hands, just the hands length out in front. And let's slide forward, find a nice low plank, and exhale, lower to the floor. Hands a fraction wider than your shoulders here. Shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale, lift, and find a nice low cobra. See if you can soften the shoulders, squeeze the glutes together a little. Take a breath in. And on the breath out, lower back onto your mat. Tuck your toes, lift through that nice low plank with an inhale. And we can exhale back and find a nice child's pose. A little bit active here with our toes still tucked because we're going to move around a little. So let's bring our hands to the front of the mat. And perhaps here you press into the pads of your fingers and lift the palms of the hands off the floor to get a nice stretch down through the backs of the arms and also underneath the arms, into the armpits, so to speak. It's a funny word, isn't it? Armpits. But anyway, the pits of the arms. Let's bring the palms of the hands back onto the floor, and as you inhale, lift back into your tabletop. Let's bring hands back underneath shoulders, knees under hips, and perhaps we just take a round of cat and cow here. Inhale, belly drops, chest comes forward, gaze forward or eye gaze to the ceiling, and then exhale, round through your spine, chin to chest, navel to spine. And then from this nice neutral spine, let's inhale, take that left arm up towards the ceiling, and on the exhale, slide it underneath your right. Left side of the face comes down onto the mat now. And you can keep your right hand where it is, or perhaps you take it up towards the ceiling. And maybe from here, you bend at the elbow and wrap it around the lower back and reach for the top of your left thigh. Drawing that shoulder back just a little. One more breath. And then let's take that arm back up underneath the right shoulder, and as you inhale, press the floor away, and on the exhale, bring those hands again, a hand's length out in front. Now we're going to take a little flow here so we can warm up through the triceps, through the forearms, and most importantly, those little wrist joints. So let's come forward with an inhale. Exhale, just lower halfway to the mat, and use your inhale to press the floor away. Tuck the toes and exhale back and find an active child's pose. And then can we do that again? Inhale to come forward. Exhale to lower. Inhale, press the floor away. And exhale back. Find that active child's pose. Now we're going to come all the way to the mat again and find cobra. So inhale, low plank. Exhale, lower to the floor and hands a fraction wider than shoulders. And inhale, lift again. Peel the chest off the mat. Find that cobra. Relax through the shoulders, hug the elbows in and squeeze your glutes together. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the breath out, let's lower to the floor. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, lift through that nice low plank with an inhale. On the exhale, lift the knees off the mat and then start to send your buttocks to the wall behind, but keep the legs bent just for a moment, yeah? Let's press the palms of the hands firmly into the mat. Now we can move from this either floating child's pose, you could call it, or bent-legged downward facing dog, transitioning into our down dog by straightening one leg at a time. Now my heels don't touch the mat, and that's okay. Not everyone's will. Maybe one day they will, but I'm okay with that. So my suggestion is you use an inhale to lift onto your toes and an exhale to let the left heel come down, and an inhale to lift onto your toes, and an exhale to let the right heel down. And just pedal through the feet so we get a little warmer through the backs of your legs. Let's now take a nice deep breath in. Slide the heels to the right. As you exhale, bend the knees and press the floor away. And then can we slide the heels to the left, bend the knees and press the floor away. And then let's come back through center. So what we want to do here is check our feet at hip distance, our hands are shoulder width. Pressing into the index and thumb knuckle will take a little stress out of the wrists. See if you can feel as if you're melting your chest back towards your thighs and your heels back towards the mat. Look between your hands now, and you can walk or step or jump your feet to the front of the mat with your next inhale. Let the chest rest onto your thighs as you exhale, and take a nice slow spinal roll with your next breath in. Let bone stack on bone, and hands can meet in tall mountain pose. And then exhale, hands to the heart, and take a breath. Just let everything settle here. Inhale now, lift the arms. Perhaps we swan dive this time, lid with the chest, arms out wide, bend the knees as much as you need to, tip from the hips, hands to the floor. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale to your forward fold. Right leg now steps to the back of the mat, nice big long runner's lunge. Keep the right knee lifted. Inhale, we lift for high crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Exhale and sink down into your lunge. So let's just take a moment to relax through the shoulders, reach the fingers nice and tall. We'll take a little flow here as well, yeah? So take an inhale, and on the exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Let's start to slide the hips back, straightening into that leg. And then we can use an inhale to come forward, straighten into that, bend into that leg. Right hand stays on the mat. Inhale, take the left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release that hand. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down, framing the front foot, and we send the hips back and straighten into that left leg. Inhale, bend back into that left leg. Right hand stays on the mat. Inhale, take the left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release that arm. Inhale, high lunge, high crescent lunge. Exhale, the hands come down. Slide your hips back here. Maybe you draw the toes back towards the shin. Come forward with an inhale, bend into that left leg. Right hand stays on the mat. Inhale, left arm lifts towards the ceiling. Exhale, release that left arm. Now let's slide that left leg to the back of the mat. Now we can find a plank that's suitable for you. Knees up or knees down. Your choice here. Nothing's compulsory. Take a breath in. On the breath out, let's lower to the floor. Hands a fraction wider than your shoulders. Inhale, peel the chest off the mat. And exhale, lower back down. Hands under shoulders, tuck toes, lifting through that plank, high or low with an inhale. Exhale back, find your downward facing dog. And we can walk, step, or jump our feet to the front of the mat with our next inhale. Exhale, chest onto thighs, bend the knees, reverse the swan dive, arms out wide, flatten the back. Inhale, bring the hands to meet in prayer. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath. Centering each time with each breath and allowing a little moment of stillness through the outside of the body as the inside of the body works its way with all this energy. Let's take the other side. Inhale, let the fingers touch. Exhale, swan dive back down onto your mat. Inhale to find your halfway lift, your Ardha Uttanasana, yeah, your flat back. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Left leg now steps to the back of the mat. Nice big long runner's lunge. Let's inhale. Lift the arms for Anjaneyasana, high crescent lunge. Exhale, sink down. Relax your shoulders a little here. Reach the fingers nice and tall. We're going to flow from here though, so take a breath in. And on the breath out, release the hands to frame the front foot. And can we slide the hips back and straighten into that right leg? Left heel reaches for the mat. Inhale, come back forward. Left hand stays on the floor. We inhale, the right arm lifts towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring that hand back down. Inhale, let's lift. High lunge. High crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come down. We slide the hips back. Left heel reaches for the floor. Inhale, bend back into that right leg. Left hand on the mat. Inhale, right arm lifts towards the ceiling. Exhale, release that arm. Inhale, we find that nice high crescent lunge. Exhale, the hands come down. We slide the hips back. Perhaps you peel that foot off the mat. Coming forward. Left hand stays on the mat. Inhale, take the right arm up. One more time. Exhale, hand down. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, the hands come down. Hips slide back and we somewhat straighten through that right leg, but don't look out the knee. Inhale, come forward, bend back into that right leg. Left hand stays on the mat. Inhale, take the right arm up towards the center. Exhale, release that arm. And can we now slide the right leg to the back of the mat? Find that plank pose, high or low. Take a breath in. Exhale, low to the floor. Let's bring the hands a fraction wider than shoulders and find another cobra. Maybe you lift a little higher this time. Exhale, lower to the floor. Hands under shoulders, tuck your toes, lifting through that plank, high or low with an inhale. Exhale back, find your downward facing dog. And take a moment here just to pedal through your dog. Hold for a breath in dynamic stillness. Down dog is a resting pose, although sometimes it doesn't feel like it. But by all means, drop your knees to the mat and tuck your toes and sit back into child's pose if that's what you need to do here. Listen to your body always, in all ways. And then when you're ready, if you're in child's pose, you can take one more breath and we'll all meet in our downward facing dog. From here, let's all inhale, take that left leg up towards the ceiling. Bend the knee. On the exhale, draw the knee in towards your chest. Inhale, send that leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee towards your chest. Inhale, send that leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee towards your chest. Now this time we're going to step that foot between our hands at the front of the mat. And you're going to drop that back heel. And we're going to take an inhale and lift and find warrior two. Now I'm going to change on the mat so that I can face you. So what I'd like you to do in your warrior two is firstly check that your front heel is lined up with around about the arch of your back foot. Can you soften your shoulders? Check if you look over your front knee that your big toe is still visible. Shoulders relaxed here. Can you gaze down that middle finger? Take one more breath. Now we take this little flow called a dancing warrior. Let's inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Use the next inhale to straighten through the front leg, parallel the arms to the floor. Reach forward and let that front hand just sit on the shin or the inside or the outside. And take that back arm up towards the ceiling. Now your gaze here can be to the floor, the wall, or the ceiling in triangle pose or trikonasana. One more breath. Then can we inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, bend into that front leg, slide the forearm down and bring that back arm over towards the ceiling. So we're here in our Pajva Konasana, wide leg side angle pose. Let's inhale, sweep that front arm along the floor and then bring our toes to the corner of the mat. Yeah? So we're going to inhale, straight through the front leg, bring the hands to prayer towards the ceiling and exhale, sink down into goddess or horse pose. Let's go again. Inhale, arms lift towards the ceiling. Exhale, sink down into your goddess pose. Can we go one more time? Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Hold here. Maybe take your hands onto your knees or perhaps a little to the inside with that thumb. Take a breath in. On the breath out, let your left shoulder gently drop into the center and turn and look over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, let's go the other side. Right shoulder drops, turn and look over the left shoulder. Inhale through center. Exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. back through center now. Take a nice deep breath in, bring your hands back into prayer. On the exhale, can you sink a little deeper? And then inhale, straight through the legs, let the fingers touch. On the exhale, we're going to slide the back leg back. Draw the toes to the front of the mat and find our way back to warrior two. And then let's the left hand come down, windmill the right hand, turn onto the ball of the right foot. And let's slide that left leg to the back of the mat. Find your plank, high or low. Take your breath in. On the breath out, lower to the floor. Let's take the hands now to the sides of the body, palms face the ceiling. Shalabhasana, locust pose. As you inhale, thighs, torso, arms float off the mat. Toes and fingers draw to the wall behind. Can you draw your shoulder blades a little more towards the spine to lift a little more through the chest? And can you squeeze your glutes together a little more to lift a little more through the thighs? One more breath in. And then on the breath out, let's lower to the floor. Hands under shoulders, tuck your toes, lift through your plank, high or low with an inhale. Exhale back, downward facing dog. And then you can walk, step, jump your feet to the front of the mat with your next inhale. And as you exhale, let the chest rest onto the thighs. And take a nice slow spinal roll. Letting the hands come to meet in tall mountain pose. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Lovely. So I'm just going to come to the other end of the mat so we can take this other side. So take a nice deep breath in. Now let's inhale, take the arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, swan dive back down onto your mat. Now can we step our legs back to find our downward facing dog without me stepping on my kitty cat? Hey! And just take a moment here in your downward facing dog. Take a breath. Use your next inhale now. Take that right leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee, and on the exhale, draw the knee in towards your chest. Start to shift that weight forward. Inhale, send that leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, send that leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest. And now let's step that foot between our hands at the front of the mat. And drop the back heel. And inhale, lift and find warrior two on the other side. So on the exhale, sink down into your Virabhadrasana 2. Your warrior two. The right heel lines up with the arch of the back foot. We soften through the shoulders, making sure that that big toe is still visible if we look over the front knee. And if it's not, just move it in. Let's inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse the warrior. And inhale, straighten through the front leg. On the exhale, reach forward. Let that front hand just find the shin. Back arm towards the ceiling, and you can gaze to the floor, to the wall, or to the ceiling in Trikonasana triangle pose. Use your next inhale to lift halfway here. On the exhale, bend through the front leg. Forearm slides down, back arm comes over. Dip the little pinky, look underneath the arm. One more breath, one more breath. And then let's inhale, find our way back to warrior two. Exhale, go that little bit deeper here. Let that right hand come down, windmill the left hand. Slide on the right leg back. And find your plank, high or low. Take a breath in. On the breath out, lower to the floor. Hands can now interlace over the buttocks. Press the palms together. As you inhale, thighs, torso float off the mat. Thumbs draw to the wall behind. Shoulder blades draw in towards the spine. Take another nice deep breath in. And then on the breath out, lower to the floor. Hands under shoulders. Lift through that nice low plank as you inhale. And then draw one knee at a time towards your wrists at the front of the mat. Cross your ankles. Sit back on your mat. And can we bring our legs out in front? And let's take a little twist before we come onto our backs. So let's draw that left knee in, hug the knee in and cross the foot over. So toes of the right foot are drawing back towards your shin. Hug that left knee in towards your chest. Left hand comes around behind the buttock. Take a deep breath in, lift and lengthen. Now on your breath out, shoulder, rib cage, chest turns to the back of the room. So each breath in is a lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. And each breath out is where we work that little bit deeper into the twist. Think of that inhale as creating space, and that exhale is softening, and the softness here translates to moving that little bit deeper. Use your next inhale to let your head and neck and the rest of the body turn back to the front of the room. Draw the left knee in and just extend it out. Place it onto the floor, and right knee can be drawn in now. Cross that leg over, toes of the left foot draw back. Hug that right knee in. The left hand comes behind us. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the crown. Exhale, shoulder, rib cage, chest. Lastly, the head and neck turns. So keep using the breath here. Lifting, lengthening through the inhale. Softening, twisting in that exhale. So can we turn that head back to the front with that next breath in? Rest of the body can follow. Just gently hug that right knee in, extend it out in front. Give the legs a little shake. Let's come down onto our back. So let's inhale, arms lift towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, roll down onto your backs. Draw your knees into the chest and give them a nice gentle squeeze and a little bit of rocking from side to side. And maybe the hands come onto your knees here, and we just take some nice gentle circles. Heading down now into some nice relaxation, but let's take a spinal twist. So let your feet touch down and bring your arms out to make a T pattern. Can you lift your hips and slide them a few centimeters to the right side of your mat, and then cross your right leg over your left leg and let those cross legs gently fall to the left. Now, as well as this being a lovely twist through your spine, an opportunity to massage through those spongy discs that sit between each and every one of the vertebrae. It's also an opportunity to work into your glutes. So if you'd like to squeeze your legs together here a little or a lot, do that and notice how that will give you a nice stretch through the top of that right glute. Maybe that's just what you need today. So we're going to take one more breath here. And then let's all roll onto our backs, but keep the legs crossed and just slide the hips into the center of the mat and draw the knees into the chest and lift head and shoulders off the floor. Can you take hold of the outer blades of your feet, if not the ankles, or maybe it's more the calf muscles, and then let your head and shoulders come back down and draw whatever body part you have taken hold of away from the other. So we get this nice opening up through the hips, through the outside of the hips and a little more into the glutes. Release that now. Uncross the legs and give them a nice gentle squeeze in towards the chest. You might lift your head and shoulders off here and curl into this little seed pod, little cosmic egg. Take a nice deep breath in. And on your breath out, lower your head and shoulders to the floor and let your feet touch down, arms out to make that T pattern. Lift your hips and slide them a few centimeters to your left now, and cross your left leg over your right leg and let those cross legs gently fall to the right. Your head turns to the left. Again, if your glutes are really tight, use this opportunity in this particular spinal twist to not only massage those spongy discs and bring some fresh reoxygenated blood into your spinal column, but to squeeze a little through that glute. Keep the legs crossed, roll back onto your back and slide your hips back into the center of the mat and draw those knees into the chest, head and shoulders off the floor. Take hold of the outer blades or the ankles or the calves, whatever you can. head and shoulders back down, and just start to draw that body part away from the other. Let that go now. Uncross your legs, hug the knees into the chest, lift your head and shoulders off the floor, curl into that little seed pod. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the breath out, lower your head and shoulders back onto your mat and let your feet touch down just below the buttocks. And let's extend one foot at a time to the bottom of the mat. Feet open out to the side, arms come to the sides of the body. Flip the palms so palms face the ceiling. Close down your eyes and just let yourself settle into your final pose, your Shavasana. So let your body sink into the mat. And start to soften. Start to soften through your feet, yeah? The soles of your feet, the tops of your feet, the ankles, the toes, the shins and calves, the knees, the backs of the knees, through the thighs, the fronts and the backs, and then notice this softness as it starts to work its way into the torso. So let your belly, abdomen, stomach soften, and the glutes, the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, the shoulder blades. Start to feel a softness come down the arms, through the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the hands and fingers. Feel the whole back of your body, the backs of the legs, the back itself, the backs of the arms sink down into the mat. And create or feel this softness through the face. Soften your forehead, relax the jaw, let the cheeks soften, unclench your teeth, and just sink into this beautiful opportunity we have to be still, to be. The doing is done. There's nothing left to do. We get now to be on our mat in this space, and that's a really beautiful thing. So maybe you find your thoughts rise up, and that's okay, they will. Trick here is not to attach to them or give them any of your energy, but merely just observe. Observe them. Oh, that's nice. And then let them move on. And just come back to the being on the mat, the being in this space. When you're ready, you can start to just let your breath begin to slowly deepen and bring your awareness back to your space on the mat and your position in the room. And slowly let that awareness expand beyond the four corners of the mat that you are on to the four corners of the room that we are in. And beyond that to the outside world, starting to feel some, or notice and hear some sounds that just gently flow in and out and drop in and out. And then let the sound of the chime draw you back to your physical body here once again on the mat inside the space. And start to invite some little flickers of movement and energy into your fingers and your toes, and maybe you rotate your wrists and ankles or extend your arms overhead so fingers reach to the wall behind and toes to the wall in front, and take a nice deep breath in, feeling yourself re-emerge, re-enter back into your day or your evening. whatever time you're doing this practice. And as you feel ready, bend your knees and begin to make your way over to your favorite side. Rest your head in your upper arm and your forearm. Close down your eyes and take some time here to regroup and to regather. We bring everything that we've received through this practice back with us and fully integrate through the mind, the body, the soul, through the spirit, whatever resonates with you here, physically, emotionally, mentally, energetically. It's all there. And when you're ready, slowly, mindfully, begin to make your way back up to what is for you a comfortable seated position, and bring your hands into prayer thumbs, rest gently in on your sternum. And just close down your eyes here and soften the shoulders and drop into your heart space, noticing how you feel right now in this moment. A little bit of metta here today, loving kindness. May you be well. May you be free. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and grace. May all beings be well. May all beings be free. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe. May we all live together with ease and grace. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I hope you enjoy a wonderful day or evening, whatever time you're doing this practice. And if you'd like to join me, we can close the class together. We can chant one Om together and 3 Shantis. Take a nice deep breath in. Take another inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everybody. Namaste. See you again on the mat soon.